Adding an antivirus system to your computer. It is vital that whenever you have a new computer, you actually put an antivirus system on. Now, there are different types of antivirus, or what we call malware nowadays, onto your computer. I would recommend that you actually look at something called Malwarebytes. And this is a very good program that's available in a free form and a pro form. When you're actually going to download these programs, always look for the actual company who makes them, rather than trying to download from what we would call an actual company who supplies them as a optional extra. These companies, for example, things like Major Geeks or various other companies who provide them, can add extra items into your computer that you may not want. If we now look at the free anti-malware, and this will come up onto Malwarebytes' own website, and you've got, because you and your antivirus need a wingman. So what we've got here is get my free download. They do actually supply a pro version on a trial basis for 14 days if you wish to try it, and it's quite useful. It will automatically download it. You click Save File, and this will then download to your Downloads folder. So I'm going to go to my Downloads folder, and here you will actually see the Malwarebytes anti-malware setup. So we double click on that to start it, and that will run you through the actual program to make changes to your computer. You go yes to that, and it will then add the item to your thing. Again, you can choose your language of preference. In this case, we're going to have English, of course, and we go on OK, and it will run through all the various things it needs to do. And you'll notice here we are, set up anti-malware bytes on here. So I click next. I have to accept the agreement to use it, and I click on next, and it will actually download it into my program files on my C drive. I click next on that, and you can choose to create a start menu folder if you wish. I would normally leave that because you do want one of those. Desktop icons quite useful, and you can also have a quick launch icon if you want. We click next on that and then go install, and it'll go through the extraction procedure and everything. And nearly done, and there we are. So we've got update Malwarebytes and launch Malwarebytes. So I just click on finish and it will do that for me. What the program will do is actually go and connect to the server via the internet and double check that all the information that is actually in the files for the anti-malware are correct, and it will do an auto update. There we are. Database was successfully updated, and it tells me what version it was, and I'm going to click OK on that, and that will start my program. Right, here we are. We've got our Malwarebytes interface, we've got the scanner, we have protection, so you've got start trial if you want to try the full version. You've got the updates file, quarantine files, and as you can see, mine's already loaded with various nasty little bits of spyware and malware, and what we'd also term nowadays as viruses. These are quite nasty, insidious little things. Nowadays, the people who develop malware, and you can class viruses under malware as well, set up quite insidious ways of doing it. It can come in the form of emails, it could come on a website that you might click on, and you just have to be extra careful. These systems that I'm actually looking at, like Malwarebytes, are what I'd call the brace and buckle system. So although I have antivirus on my system, they are an additional protection level and they are very worthwhile using. I've also got logs here. I have an ignore list. Don't have anything in my ignore list. I've got my settings, and I've got something here, terminate Internet Explorer during threat removal. It's a good idea, so I'm actually going to set that one. And I've got more tools here as well. Now you'll notice that some of these are only available if you're actually using the Pro version of it, and I'm not using the Pro version in this case. The Pro version itself is quite inexpensive. It's around about £19 to buy and worth every penny if you're going to use that. Right. In our scanner area, we have different types of scans. We have a quick scan, a full scan, which will scan every single drive on your computer that you choose, so you can scan both your C drive and your D drive. And you've also got a flash scan. This is useful if you're actually wanting to check out various things like your memory and make sure that that's working okay. As you can see, it is only available to their licensed users, so you can only use that in the Pro version. Okay, quick scan's dead simple. You hit the scan button and it will just run through your scan, and it'll scan all your objects, and it'll take a few minutes. So we're going to actually leave it to do this until it's actually finished the scan. As we can see, the scan is still going strong, and I will wait a little bit longer before we look at the final on this. And it will actually scan every single folder on your system. At the moment, it's actually going through some of the items that I've actually downloaded, and as you can see, there's various files that it'll actually flip through. Currently we've done 10 minutes odd of actual scanning. The scan's actually finished, and it comes up with a Malwarebytes log, and it will actually state what it's actually found and how many minutes it's actually taken to scan the actual computer. In this case, it's actually taken 12 minutes and 47 seconds. You'll see that it hasn't actually detected any malicious items in either my memory processes or memory modules. If I actually click this off, and you'll see that it says the scans completed successfully, no malicious items were detected. I click OK, and then I click Exit.